Hello everyone and welcome to the Magic 9 channel. Today I'm working on another digital piece. Some updates. Currently I'm in the process of finishing up prints for an upcoming con that I'm doing called LUMI CON down in Tampa, Florida. I have a few prints that I'm still maybe 4 or 5 that I'm in the process of completing, so I got a ways to go. They should all be done in good time. I'm hoping to have them printed and shipped back by the middle of October, because the con isn't until late October, so I have time. I am thinking of doing another segment in my YouTube channel still. Actually, I have 2 ideas for the channel. I think I mentioned last week about the Let's Draw That, which is drawing random items to have a better idea of how to draw them from memory, having references and so forth, and how to use them and whatnot. And I'm also thinking of doing a magical study, is what I'm calling it currently. Basically, it's just particular studies like facial structure, anatomy, and so forth to improve my skills and to talk more about that. And I know October is pretty much right around the corner. I have a lot of Halloween stuff lined up. Am I doing Inktober? No. I've already done Inktober once, and it was very tough to complete the 30-day challenge, but I did it, and so I'm good for Inktober. I'll do it again next year once I have less classes. Hopefully. We'll see. So this particular piece I'm working on is titled Shyest. This is a concept art piece from an old animation I did last year. You can actually find it on my YouTube channel as well. I'll put a link somewhere in this video along the way. It is probably my most ambitious project as of yet. I'll talk about that a little later on in the video. The particular idea I had in mind was fairly simple, and I'd had the idea in my head for a while since I'd sketched it out and everything. There weren't really any difficulties or issues that I had working on this piece, because going into it I had a set idea. I changed the pose around a little bit, but that was about it, because I wanted her chest to be visible, because in my stories, this is kind of like an ongoing theme between all my stories, but at the center of every being in my stories is a core, and basically in this case she is the planet Saturn, so her core is the planet's body. So yeah, my concepts are crazy, all over the place. I could go on all day, but that's a simplified version of where I'm going with this. So anywho, again, not many difficulties. So the story behind this particular piece is, again, from a previous animation that I did. And what inspired this animation was that I am a huge Owl City fan. If you don't know who Owl City is, he's the guy who sang Fireflies, and it's a very popular song that I think at this point everybody has heard. I put a picture of him somewhere. Or I'll place a link to his song or something like that. But the lead singer of Owl City, whose name is Adam Young, took a hiatus a year ago from doing regular songs, and he decided to do instrumental scores for movies and whatnot. And so he did these different scores on different events in our history, such as the Titanic, the Apollo 11, and a handful of others. And these scores are gorgeous, they're very dramatic, and a ton of fun. He was doing this throughout that whole year, and then Adam Young decided to host a contest for his scores, which were called the Adam Young Scores. I was excited when I found out that he was hosting a contest, because one thing that I always wanted to do, because his music has just been I've been very inspired by his music for a long time. I really wanted to animate to one of his scores. So the score had to be the animation or film had to be 5 minutes. So I jumped on the opportunity the second I found out. However, I found out very late. The contest was originally announced in October. I didn't realize that it was a thing until late November. I was in between school and all that jazz, so I just wasn't paying attention. But this was right around when school was ending, so I had time to sit down and animate. So I did. I got a little ambitious. I set up the storyboard and everything, and the piece that I animated to from his scores is Saturn from the album of Voyager 1. And so I animated to it. However, by the time of the contest end, I had probably about 10 seconds of animation, and the rest was animated storyboard bits. So it was hot. I still submitted it anyway, and you know, it's not perfect, but I'm forever proud of it, and because Adam Young's body of work has given me a lot of inspiration in the past and in the present. He has a passion for creating art, and I can relate to that. And so it's why I wanted to do this, despite it not being complete. And so that's just one of the key things his works always remind me of, is that, you know, no matter what people think of your work, be proud of it and keep creating. And whatever happens, happens. Just appreciate what you're doing and keep going despite. I also had the opportunity to go to Adam Young's concert, or an Owl City concert, and it was the most fun I've had, because watching him perform live and have a total blast playing his music was just all the more inspiring. It's how I aim to keep going as an artist, and it was just a blast to watch in person. And I also brought this print to be signed. He's very shy. Like, watching him perform, he's very shy. So he never came out to sign anything. But I managed to give him a gift instead. So it was wonderful. So that's my story behind this particular piece. And I'll post a link to, or I'll share the gift I gave him somewhere in this video as well. I actually did use Weekly Magic, #WeeklyMagic color palettes for this one, and I used 90s Kid, And so yeah, it worked out perfectly. It was hilarious. Especially since this album has a very 90s vibe to it. It worked out perfectly. It's hilarious. So, anywho, that wraps up my video for today. I am full of energy and doing my art currently, despite being exhausted this weekend. But anyway, that wraps up my video. I am full of energy right now and working on my art, so leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of my current content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also make sure you hit that notification button because I'm working on new content for every week, once a week. Speaking of, I will be posting videos on Sunday now because one of my classes has me submitting work on Saturdays, and usually the last little bits of my assignment I'm crunching into that Saturday. It's a hot mess, so I really try to keep Saturday, but I really have to push it back another day because it's literally Friday and Saturday are the only times I truly get to sit down and work on homework without passing out in between. It's a hot mess. But anywho, don't forget about #weekly magic. This is week 5 or 4. I'm losing track right now. I'm actually getting ready to make a list so that the previous color palettes everybody has to their disposal. This #weekly magic set of colors is also called Shy Saturn. I decided to give you guys the set of color palettes that I used for this particular piece. This is a good little mix of like warm and a little bit of cool, so I think you might like these colors. Anywho, thank you guys for joining me on my art journey. Have a magical day, and I'll see you in the next video.